Alrighty, you guys, so it's time to watch one. What are you looking at? Are you looking at my Haitian national soccer team jersey? Listen, when you watch Wonder Man, you get introduced to Simon Williams, our lead, right? He's awesome, and he's also Haitian, and I'm not Haitian. I've got a lot of Haitian friends, and they're amazing. The thing is, I've yet to try a soup jumu, and this whole time, I kept thinking, while I'm watching all 8 episodes, I really want to try some soup jumu. So if anyone's got it, you could send it to me. Thank you. What's going on, you guys? James here with another real review, and today, yes, we're getting into all of my spoiler-free thoughts on Marvel Studios' Wonder Man. Yes, all 8 episodes were sent to me early. Thanks so much to Disney and Marvel Studios for giving me the chance to watch this early for review. Now, the review embargo definitely moved up. It was supposed to be next week. It's tonight, which is January 22nd at the time of this recording. But man, I'm so excited to talk about this show because I won't lie to you, I didn't know anything about Wonder Man. I still don't know much, but I know what the series told me, and that's good enough for me because I'm happy to report that if you liked the unknown group of superheroes known as Guardians of the Galaxy, because I didn't know anything about them either, you're going to get into Wonder Man. And if you're anything like me, you're also going to be very, very pleased with what is delivered. Now, before we get into all of that, and I'll give you my thoughts, my positives, and yeah, a couple negatives. If it's your first time here at the channel, welcome to Real James, where I love talking about movies, TV, and all the news in between. So if you do too, hit the big red button below, subscribe to the channel, tap on that bell, like this video, get loud in the comments below, and let me know exactly what you think about Marvel's Wonder Man, which comes out next week, actually. I believe it's... pause, I'll get the date for you in 2 seconds. Wonder Man debuts, all 8 episodes, of course, on Disney Plus on January 27th. So yeah, we've got a little less than a week, but it's well worth the wait, you guys. So alrighty, if you don't know much about Wonder Man and the show itself, let's get into it. No, I'm not diving into the comic book history because I don't know it yet, but let's get started. The series is created by Destin Cretton, who you should know as director of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and he's also doing Spider-Man Brand New Day, and the series also is created by Andrew Guest. So we've got 2 showrunners here, and the directors, well, there's not many, but there are a decent number of directors here. We had Destin Cretton, who did a couple episodes, James Ponsoldt, Tiffany Johnson, and Stella Meggy. And I mean, I'm going to be honest, they all did a very good job here. The cast is stacked, but you really probably know the first 2 leads. We've got Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, who plays Simon Williams, or Wonder Man himself, Ben Kingsley as Trevor Slattery, Mayo as Janelle, Simon's agent, Zlatko Burić, who plays the legendary director Von Kovak, and Arian Moayed, who plays Agent Cleary of the Department of Damage Control. And if you thought he was a pain in your butt before, he's about to be a bigger pain in your butt in this series. Now, without spoiling anything, of course, the actual show itself really does sort of take on a character study approach with Simon Williams. The official synopsis is, aspiring Hollywood actor Simon Williams is struggling to get his career off the ground. During a chance meeting with Trevor Slattery, an actor whose biggest role is literally the Mandarin, the terrorist from Iron Man 3, Simon learns that legendary director Von Kovak is remaking the superhero film he loved as a child, Wonder Man. Now, these 2 actors are at opposite ends of their careers, dodging, of course, and maybe pursuing life-changing roles, but audiences begin to get a peek behind the curtain of the entertainment industry, their lives, and a very cool secret that Simon has. Hint, and it's not really a spoiler, but yeah, it's Wonder Man. We've seen it in the trailer and the posters, but man, it's so cool because I love this show, and I think this is a good time to get right into my positives, you guys. But not knowing anything about Wonder Man, not knowing anything about the character of Simon Williams, and really not understanding too much about what's ahead, I went in very cold with this show, and I thought, man, what a pleasant surprise, but also what an incredible character study piece. This is the best character work since WandaVision, and that is my 10 out of 10 favorite Marvel television show. Nothing has really come too close, but I'll be honest, Wonder Man has come the closest. I love what they delivered here. This show is really strong, mainly due to, of course, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, but the entire cast works well under the amazing direction and writing that the series has. So maybe let's sort of start there. So Destin Daniel Cretton and his gang of directors do a very excellent job here, and I think the best thing they do is they work within the confines of a very small runtime. Now, it's 8 episodes, none of them are longer than 36 minutes, but each episode felt good enough to understand these characters, the complexities they have, and also I was laughing, I was getting emotional, and I was feeling things. And it wasn't just because the series was telling me to do that. It's because of the time we're spending with these characters. They made 30 minutes feel like an hour in the best way possible. And it helps that the aesthetic for this show really, really gets me. I am a sucker for these like vintage looks, the film grain swimming across the screen. It felt very cinematic. Now, sure, the first half of this show, the first 4 episodes, feel more cinematic than the last 4, ironically. And when you watch the show, you'll know why. But I will say, the DPs here, right? The director of photographers, Brett Pollock and Armando Salas, they do a very, very good job at giving the show just enough of that cinematic touch for you to feel immersed. And I won't lie to you, this feels so much different than the other Marvel shows. And there's a production quality here that you almost forget, like, wait, I'm watching this on Disney Plus? This is a streaming show? What? Because it does have a similar vibe that if this landed on HBO Max, I would have been like, oh yeah, HBO is definitely behind this one. It's good. It's quality, filmmaking, awesome blocking. Every conversation never felt boring. And I think that's the biggest takeaway is that I can't tell you one conversation here where I'm sitting here like, okay, maybe I can check my YouTube channel. Let me. No, I was locked in. And that's the thing. This show, it's not that if you aren't 100% locked in, you'll miss something, but it will demand your time. And I think you're better off for it. So yes, the directing, the writing, the cinematography, the color grading, it all looks so darn beautiful and it flowed very well. But again, this show doesn't work without the incredible acting capabilities of both of our leads. Now, listen here. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II deserves a good superhero run, okay? Yeah, he was playing Mantis or whatever in Aquaman. Heck no, okay? They wasted his talent in those movies. Those movies stink. But Yahya Abdul-Mateen II is incredible as Simone Williams, aka Wonder Man. He's giving you everything you want in this role, but you're also rooting for him. Sure, he's got his faults. Maybe he is a little self-centered. I mean, the show opens and you see a tumultuous relationship on display between him and his partner, Vivian, if I'm not mistaken, that's her name. So it's really cool to understand his character that much more. But then when you bring in Ben Kingsley, an award-winning actor who is absolutely incredible, one of the best in the game, of course, as Trevor Slattery, this is a character that I thought, okay, he was fine in Shang-Chi and The Legend of the Ten Rings. Like, he had maybe too much comedic relief in that movie for my liking, but in this series, this is the best Trevor Slattery we've gotten, movies or TV. He is so darn good at, I can't even say what he's doing because it is a spoiler, dang it, but he's very good at doing two things and playing two sides of the field in this series. But it's really his friendship that blossoms in front of our eyes with Simone that just, it's so beautiful to witness. And I miss this kind of quality of filmmaking, of like just TV from Marvel. Listen, not everything has been pretty on the Marvel TV front, but this is beautiful. And their chemistry really makes for enjoyable watches. I can't wait to go and rewatch this entire series because it is just that good. There were moments, especially later in this series, I think it was maybe episode 7, maybe 6 or 7, where they're just talking. They're on a balcony talking. And I thought, I can do 2 more hours of this. And that's crazy because usually dialogue, especially in short episodes, feels rushed, quick. Sometimes like you're missing something. But you feel like you're not missing anything in this show. If anything, you guys, I wanted this series to be longer. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But there's just so much to love between these two. And it's not just about them either. There are some really cool standouts in the supporting actor category. Actress X Mayo, who plays Janelle, Simon's agent, their scenes are awesome together too. They're hilarious. And I love the fact that the dialogue is authentic. If I'm being honest with you, it's really cool and refreshing to get honest conversations, because Janelle is a black woman and she's awesome in this show, and they definitely do not write her character to be unnatural, if that makes sense. There's dialogue that I'm just like, yeah, that works. And her and Simon don't hold back, so you don't feel like they're acting. It just feels like we're hanging out with these characters. I think that's really cool, and it benefits the show greatly. And one thing that also surprised me in the best way was the amount of layers that is given to Simone Williams. As a character, the show won't work without you actually understanding the complexities of the character. And I was actually surprised that they even went as far as to give us a scene, for example, where you go over to his mother's house, mummy, for her birthday, and we do get a lot of authentic Haitian representation. Now, again, I'm not Haitian, but I have a lot of friends who are, so I was hearing things, seeing things, and I'm like, I've also heard this at church before. You know what I mean? And it's so cool to witness all of that within the confines of like 30-minute episodes. That was what actually dawned on me in the middle. I would say like around episodes 3 or 4. I thought, how are they getting in so many layers within 30 minutes? Because you got the credits and the previously on, so you really are losing like 4 or 5 minutes here, and they're still doing so much within such a small box. And then I thought, I want a Wonder Man movie, because if this is how the movie's going to be, I just want more of this. It's just incredible. It got me in my feels. It really helped me understand more about Simone Williams, because again, I didn't know Wonder Man before this, but now it's one of my favorite characters in the MCU. Yeah. And I know I just talked about Simone's mother, Martha, in this show, but shout out to actress Shola Adewusi, who plays a character who you just can't help but love. And I just want to hug her. Do you know what I mean? She's my mom too, I guess now. Great. No, but seriously, she is incredible in this show. But that speaks to how great the casting is in this series. 8 episodes, and each one feels like you don't waste any time. There are also a lot of really awesome cameos in this series, and I don't want to spoil too much here, but let's just say the film does a good job at blending reality with the MCU. I mean, they talk about actors and actresses, and I'm like, is that canon to MCU now? And wait, did you just say something about The Matrix? Like, it's really neat. And when they bring in these actors and these actresses, it makes me smile, but they're used really, really well. It's funny. Actually, it's mainly just funny, but they do serve a purpose for the series, especially with episode 4, which is titled Doorman. That episode's all about DeMar Doorman Davis. Shot in black and white, reminds me of Severance a little bit, and I won't lie to you guys, the episode is incredible. It has nothing to do with Simone. I mean, in a weird, inadvertent way it does, but it's all focused on this one character with this one series of events for 30 minutes. We're locked in on a character that we've never seen before in the show, and it works in the best way possible. It's not a detour. If anything, it actually adds to the series. So this is what you can come to expect with Wonder Man. You're getting quality writing, directing, and acting, and nothing, in my opinion, is going wasted. So I absolutely love this thing. I also love how the show isn't afraid to get a little edgy to a degree. I'm not talking about edgy like we used to know it. I'm talking about straight up action, because in episode 6, there's something jaw-dropping that happens where it felt like you get punched in the face. It was so cool and also surprising, and I literally gasped out loud audibly. So sorry to my neighbors above me, but wow, that was insane. And by the end, I literally just said to myself, no, because I didn't want this to end. And that's not really a negative, but maybe it is a decent time to now transition to my negatives. I don't have many. I might even just have one, but it's not really a negative. I just really wanted more time in this world of Wonder Man. I wanted more Wonder Man. And by the end, I'm like, oh, it's ending just as I'm like, this is getting great again. Like, it's been great, but like there's a new story that's about to form, and I'm like, I want this, please. Why are we ending now? I'm like scrolling through to the end credits, and then just a heads up, there's no end credits. But still, this show is just so awesome, and I didn't want it to end. So I do wish this was a longer series. I think each episode could have actually done with 10 to 15 minutes more, because it just feels like they had more to say. Now, I know that's, to some people, you might think, okay, what the heck? That actually is a negative, man. But it didn't actually take away from the series. What they delivered was amazing. So, yes, I get it. Longer runtimes would have been really nice, and that's me maybe being a little selfish, but it just feels like there's more. I don't know if there'll be a season 2. Heck, I don't even know if there'll be a Wonder Man movie. But I think Marvel would be very, very, very dumb and short-sighted to not do either a season 2 or a Wonder Man movie. I want more Wonder Man. Okay? Give him to me. And I know I mentioned it earlier, but the first batch of episodes, the first 4 episodes, do feel a bit more intimate and cinematic than the final 4. And I think that's because the final 4 episodes, they do tend to lean on Simone and Trevor, auditioning for Wonder Man and the consequences of that, right? And so we get a little bit more action, and we're understanding exactly where the series will end up. And I, for one, loved it. I thought they did a very good job in the second half of the season here. But I do wish that we had a little bit more of the intimate moments that we had in the first 4 episodes. However, I understand the shift. It was a natural progression for the characters. And heck, we even do get a moment that almost brought me to tears in a movie theater with Simone and his family. So it's really cool. They do a good job. Now, I will say, this next negative that I have on this list, I think is a genuine negative, right? So I'm not just like, hey, I wish it was longer because I loved it. Like, that doesn't sound too negative. But this one, I was a little disappointed with, to be honest, and that is the work by composer Joel P. West. I think he's amazing. What he did with Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is awesome, okay? It felt very authentic. Here, though, seeing his name attached, I was hoping for more of his imprint on the series. We do get more needle drops and soundtrack choices than we do actual music composition. And I don't know if that was on purpose or not. It probably was. But I'm sitting here thinking, man, Joel P. West, I'm waiting to hear some dope epic scores, and I want to hear things that are subtle but impactful. And I didn't get any of that from this series. There were some musical composition choices in the very end of the end credits, but I'll be completely honest, I wanted to hear more of that within the context of the show. So that is an area that I was a little disappointed in, because if that's the case, why are you going to bring on Joel P. West? You just bring on anyone. But having him on board, his name is awesome, but I just didn't feel his imprint here like I did on Shang-Chi. But overall, you guys, Wonder Man genuinely is one of the best shows I've seen already this year, and I probably will see throughout this year. Just because this was released in January doesn't mean I'm going to forget about it. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II turns in one of his best performances yet. In my opinion, his best performance since Candyman. And then you have Trevor Slattery, who's played by Ben Kingsley. He's hilarious, humble, personable. And I love the redemption factor for his character. It's amazing to see a lot of these loose ends from previous Marvel series get tied up here with Trevor. But also, you gotta be honest with yourself, and I do too. Marvel television has been up and down, but this is the best since WandaVision. This is clearly, to me, a 9 out of 10 series. It is very rewatchable. I can't wait to go back and watch this again. But this is a show that I think blends together the down-to-earth, as much as you can in the MCU, down-to-earth values of what we love about the MCU, and also brings you a heightened superhero-like reality to a degree, and you think, dang, this is a very good blend. It's a hero I have had no prior knowledge of, but I'm here to say I love Wonder Man. And I love this version of Wonder Man. I just want Yahya Abdul-Mateen II to play in the sandbox more and more, because the man's a bona fide movie star, but the work he did here is incredible. I mean, I'm someone who loved Watchmen, and he was in that too, and it was great. But the work he's doing in Wonder Man is also amazing. I'm just so happy with this show. It's everything that I could want in a Marvel television series. And thankfully, hey, the runtime, for as short as it is, makes it a rewatchable series. So 8 episodes of pure goodness. And I'm just so happy to say that, yes, I love Wonder Man, and it is better than advertised. Seriously. It's better than any trailer you've seen, any poster you've seen. The final product does it more justice. So yes, go watch Wonder Man and let me know exactly what you think in the comments below too, right? Because if you've stayed this long, that means you either like my review or you like Wonder Man. But if you like both, hit the big red button below, subscribe to the channel, tap on that bell, and like this video too. Guys, don't forget to turn on those bell notifications because yes, we're getting busy, guys, right? My next video is going to be all about Send Help, the movie I'm about to see, and also Mercy. So I'm doing a little combo review. Which one should you see this weekend in theaters? So I'm excited to drop that on Saturday. But y'all, this has been a blast. Wonder Man again is a huge success. So congrats to the entire team behind it. And I can't wait to just continue to champion Wonder Man and also find out where I can eat subjumu. I need to go to one of my friends' houses. Seriously. Alrighty, y'all. Well, again, thanks so much for watching. God bless you guys, and I'll catch you at the next screening.